Wake that up.
LA's #1 hip-hop morning show is Nick Cannon Mornings on Power 106.
Nick Cannon Radio. It is that time for up close and personal conversations, just a quarantine check-in. And you know I only have close conversations with people that I admire, that I look up to, fixtures in the game. And this brother is all of that and above. So many more. Truly an icon, a legend, one of the best to ever do it in hip-hop. And then to transcend to so many other mediums as a mogul, the one and only my brother, Chris Lover, a.k.a. Ludacris.
Thank you, sir. What's going on, man? It's an honor and a pleasure.
Man.
And yes, you know, I think that individuals like ourselves have shown and proven actually pays to have done television, producing, movies, rapping, and, you know, just diversifying the portfolio.
Facts.
I commend and salute you as being an individual that does that as well. So I appreciate the flowers, and I take that as well, man.
Nah, man, so much. Like, I remember, man, being a teenager in Atlanta, hustling, standing outside cold as hell in Atlanta, waiting for one of y'all to come downstairs and pick us up when you and Poon was on the radio, and we was just some kids, me and Keenan and them trying to just really catch it. Y'all had the city on smash. People don't know Luda was a radio dude at night. They had the city rocking. Before you was Ludacris, you was known as Chris Lover. And man, I saw the whole progression from going from radio to being one of the biggest superstars in rap, man. So I commend you and salute you. And I tell that story to people who would never even know, like, fact that y'all had Lala on the radio with you and all. Like, man, I was a teenager. And just, you were superstars in my eyes even back then, man. And just to see where you took it, man, when they tell the Luda story, when they see the Ludacris movie, which I know is coming, I know you're going to tap into that.
Now, we appreciate that. We always say that we're like the In Living Color cast, where it's just like everybody branched out and did something big, man. And since you're talking about the story, let me just correct you on one thing, or just let you know. It was always Ludacris. I started on the morning show, and they didn't like the name Ludacris for so early in the morning. So I had to choose an alias, which was Chris Lover. So I was rapping way before I got to that radio station. And me getting to that radio station was a means to an end for me to try to get put on in the music industry, because I was like, all these artists and producers come up here and I'll be able to give them my music. So just so you know, I've been rapping since I was 9. And the ironic thing to round all of this up, it's crazy how now you got a lot of artists that's going into the radio field. And I started in the radio field and became a rapper. Now it's a bunch of rappers going into the radio field, which is crazy. But it's funny the way life works and the evolution of individuals in our entertainment industry all the time, bro.
That's dope. See, because even as me, like, I was a kid, so I was thinking like, oh, Chris Lover he rapping now. And I remember being in Atlanta, and I thought the reason why you switched the name to Ludacris is because, you know, radio stations be battling for, you know, if your talent over here or what records to play. So I thought it was like an alias because, yo, this is Ludacris, so that you could get your record played on the other stations. Because I remember during that time, because when, you know, Fantasy was jumping off, people wanted to hate on it in the city, but that record was so fire that it played on every single station, and you just took over the city and then ultimately the whole rap game with that joint.
Man, you know, it's people that ask us for advice all the time. One of the things I wanted to tell people is that it was hard, and it was people hating on that single, but it was because they had already put me in a box of being a radio personality, and they didn't know me as a rapper. But when you really dig deep down inside yourself and just believe in something you're going to do, you can always break whatever stereotypes or limitations that people put on you, man. So you got to believe in yourself, and you have to take those risks. It's the risk takers are the ones that become successful. You can't be scared, man. You can't be complacent. So love to everybody that supported What's Your Fantasy when I put it out independently, and the rest is history.
Man, I remember that movement, man. Those was good times. I remember like seeing the glow up when you pulled up to like one of the little barbecue spots. I think it was at Nab's, DJ Nab's spot, and you had the white Jaguar. I was like, he doing it. It's going crazy. And it was
if you go to my Instagram, I still got the Acura. I got the 93 Acura Legend. I just posted a picture of it. It's got over 270,000 miles on it. But man, again, man, people just don't forget where you come from. I'm just trying to let people know that it's a testament to who I am as an individual, and I'm just extremely grounded, and I never forget where I come from.
There it is, and I see so much so it looked like the Luda fro is coming back. I see the character in the background. Are we growing the fro back, or is it just a quarantine look?
So I've been growing it since before quarantine, and I must say, I must be one of the most blessed individuals in the world, have good genetics, because it's a lot of people going bald around. You know, it's real bad in these streets, and I can tell everyone that I have done nothing to try to add to what you see right now on this screen.
That's all Luda. That's all Luda right there.
There's no dye going on whatsoever,
no lace
man.
Wait, no, hold up. Okay, I was about to give you pass because I'm right there with you with the full head of hair, but I can't say no dye. You don't dye nothing? Like, you don't have no beard, no gray hairs whatsoever.
Let me tell you what helps you keeping young. Like, let me tell you what keeps you young and keeps you looking healthy. Alcoholic beverages, man. You just gotta keep drinking them things, and you gonna shine.
I thought you was gonna say water, man. Like, we had Lil Jon on here. He was talking about how healthy he is and what he doing, and didn't say nothing about alcohol. He's a no.
The hell with water. No, I'm joking.
It's
actually funny because I just started this thing called KidNation.com
for
all the children.
Congrats.
And I wanted to get to that because during the times we in right now, we just put
great
up a
segue,
video.
Luda, from alcohol
we just put
to
up
kids.
a video that's talking about kids washing their hands, and it's a song, and it's all enrichment and great music and videos. So make sure y'all go to KidNation.com and also follow Kid Nation on Instagram, and you'll see all of the music we about to come.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that, man, because, you know, as someone who is an advocate for the youth and even, you know, spreading the messages through the music, man, I commend that, and I'm sure that's going to be an amazing platform. Everything you touch is successful. We'd be here all day if we sit here and go over all of the accolades. But one thing we definitely got to talk about is this W that you just caught one time in this Verzuz battle. I mean, it was the talk of the talk for so many reasons. I've been trying to get my man Nelly Mo on the line, but I think his router still is, there's still some issues going on. So, but even that aside, because it's funny, before the Verzuz battle went up, here on Nick Cannon Radio, Power 106, we did our hit for hit, you know what I mean? And I had your back, even though, you know, we all close. And I was saying, yo, I don't even know why this is even questionable. And shouts out to Nelly, we know, Superstar, Diamond, all of that. But if we go hit for hit, I was naming them all day. We were just playing them back to back to back. And so I kind of knew what was going to happen. But also your presentation, not only your Wi-Fi, but your presentation was so poised. Did you prepare for this? Did you know what you was going to do?
Man, I mean, you can only do a certain amount of preparation, because the great thing about this Verzuz is you can think that your songs age a certain way and that everyone has a different opinion. Sometimes it doesn't matter about what went number one or how many you sold, or sometimes the biggest records that were number one for weeks may not hit the same because people, like, at this time than it was then. It's so much of a toss-up. But to answer your question, bro, it's like playing cards. You don't know specifically what cards you're going to put down until the other people around the table or the person you playing with plays their card. And then you have to go accordingly. So there's only so much preparation that you can do. Yeah, 100%.
Well, you definitely had a handful of spades, and you're known for making them club bangers. And I think I think your songs age in a certain way to where your joint's still banging in the club today. Like, even as a DJ, it's some of the go-to records still are everything from Move Bitch to What's Your Fantasy. Like, those are records that just are always going to be classic from here on out, man. So shouts out to you.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's one of those things where when you're in the industry, you can never honestly predict how something is going to hit 10 years from now or even a year from now sometimes. So for it to be 20-year anniversary coming up in October, I couldn't be more proud of the way that my records have aged, because like I just said, you can't tell people how your records age. People got to tell you how your records age. So, man, real. I think I promise you, I know this is a cliche thing to say, but for all of the fans that's watching this right now that's been down with Ludacris since day one, I appreciate the hell out of y'all, man. It's because of you keeping these songs alive is the reason why they have lasted the test of time.
Nah, that's real. Speaking of test of time, we know when you Usher and Lil Jon get together, it's gonna be a hit. From The Lovers and Friends, and now SexBeat, man. And it's going up. We playing it on the countdown. We playing it at Power. Like, now John told me this record was like 3 years in the making.
Right.
As we know, we still waiting for Usher to confess again.
Right.
It seems like it's happening. He's taking his time, but y'all dropped this SexBeat, man. Tell me about it.
So with SexBeat, they may have started it 3 years ago. I had to look on my damn text message because I was like, I didn't do it that long ago. They sent it to me approximately a year ago.
Okay.
So I got on it a year ago. And, you know, Usher, it's been said publicly, he's one of those guys that has so many records and he just is a little indecisive on. He doesn't know what's what. He did it with I'm sure John told you that.
Yeah.
And John had to force his hand again. So thanks to Verzuz for him being able to debut that record. And when I heard it, I was just like, because I did it a year ago, so I didn't even know it was gonna hit the way that it hit in that forum. And I was like, man, this thing is crazy. Like, what the hell is going on? So I appreciate everybody that's loving it. We just shot the video. I don't know if John told you that, but it's coming out soon.
Yeah,
so
the
make sure y'all
quarantine
stream
video,
SexBeat.
right?
Yeah.
Nah,
Hell yeah.
Nah, that's powerful right there, man. And to know that, you know, a cat that has transcended from, you know, music, television, radio, movies. What's next for Ludacris? I mean, I know we got the Kid Nation popping, but what else can we expect, man?
Man, I'm at the point in my life where, to be honest, like it's definitely new music on the way. I definitely have that. I worked with Timbaland, a bunch of records, the Usher, Lil Jon Luda project. And besides myself doing projects, it's just everything is about legacy at this point. Like, what can I do to help the new generation? So apart from the KidNation.com thing, that's going to be massive. I actually have something coming out with my daughter. It's an animation. It's inspired by my daughter. That's going to help a lot of young minority kids. Basically, it's based on a minority kid going through issues and expressing herself through music. So it's a lot of things that I'm just like leaving. It's all about legacy at this point, man. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I've solidified my spot in history and in the hip hop books, and I'm gonna continue doing it.
Yeah.
But everything from here on out is about legacy for the new generation.
Indeed, and we're gonna talk about legacy a little later in the firing squad. But you also you said a couple of things that I definitely want to tap into. You talked about just what you've done in hip hop, and I think visually, man, you don't get the credit. I mean, when you think of top hip hop artists with the best videos, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, and Ludacris, man, like those, you guys get so creative with it, and knowing that you've done stuff in music videos that I've never seen. Are now that we in a new world where people ain't really spending all of that money, taking their time to really do that, how is your creativity going to tap into it when presenting some of these videos as we look forward to the SexBeat video? And then I'm pretty sure you're going to keep it going. Are we going to keep that part of the legacy going of you just doing over-the-top stuff with these visuals?
Man, I would love to continue that going. But you know what they say, man, sometimes the lower the budget, the more forced you are to be creative. So I'm up for that challenge, and I want to continue to do the quote-unquote Ludacris videos. And, you know, shout out to Missy and Busta. Those people came before me, so of course I was inspired by them. As a matter of fact, it's Busta Rhymes' birthday today, so let's pay homage and say happy birthday to Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, man, I 100% want to keep on doing some extremely crazy visuals that people will look forward to, and I can't wait. Hopefully before the end of this year, you'll see some more.
Yeah, and then the other thing I want to touch on, because you tapped into it, and even speaking of just being such an inspiration to your kids, and you're always known for the crazy lyrics and punchlines. One that just caused quite the controversy, which I don't even think we need to talk about because it's common sense. But and the song that
you said it,
that you debuted on Verse. I have to answer this question daily because one of my biggest records is with R. Kelly. So this comes at me all the time when people talk about how, you know, the situation is. But you and I talk that talk. We're real individuals, and we have those same conversations that everybody has in barbershops at the same time. When you see something like an R. Kelly situation, you said it best, man. I think it's words of wisdom. Like, we all love his music, but as a father, it's a no-go.
You know what, man? And to be honest, it's like, think about life. Think about us as human beings, and think about being conflicted.
Yeah.
It's okay to be conflicted.
Yes.
Like, that's what I need people to understand that. Like, no one is perfect. Like, it's okay. I'm talking about how I'm feeling, by the way. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
It's okay for
right.
me to be conflicted
about how you support any artist.
Right. How I support anybody, trying to distinguish between someone's music and who they may be personally. That goes for across the board.
And as a father, we always gonna feel that way. Just based on, like I told people off top, like forget just R. Kelly, and I don't want my daughter around no R&B artist. If a nigga can sing, he need to go the other way. Be singing to my daughter.
Yo, that's crazy. Hey man, listen, you said it, man. I think it's causing some great conversations.
Nah, that's real, man. I'm glad you stepped up. And again, being a lyricist, you talk that talk, and you're a real person, and always been a real person in your music. And I commend all that you do. And speaking of being a real person, it's that moment I gotta put you in the firing squad, my brother. We go definitely talk that talk, some real questions in a real way. And you can handle this. Sometimes they're psychological, sometimes they're philosophical, but it's just really to get in depth to see what Luda's doing. As you know, and you can answer them. It feels like rapid pace, but take your time, because some of them you got to think about. Like this first one, Nico Machiavelli, the Italian philosopher, he always had this inner debate about love and fear. He said, if you can't be loved, then you might as well be feared. And they say psychologically, this is where the two emotions stem from. There's only two emotions, fear and love. So which one would Luda rather be known as, feared or loved?
Oh, love, for sure, man. I think that's what the world needs now. We need more love right now than anything.
Nah,
you know what I mean? I would definitely want to be loved.
Especially
100%.
During these fearful times, man. I mean, the fear is what's got us all in our houses. And that's why when we talk about fear, some people, that's where reverence, respect, order comes from fear. So that's sometimes where, a lot of people give that answer of fear, but I love the fact that you put love as what Luda is known for.
Well, they say fear is false evidence appearing real, man. Love can drive out fear. Only love can drive out fear. So I choose love.
There it is. Now, speaking of fear, false evidence appearing real, what's Ludacris's greatest fear?
You know what's crazy, bro? That's such a great question, because I'm one of them people, unlike a lot of people, that if I fear something, I kind of go towards it as opposed to going away from it. And this has been this has been a lifelong fear of mine. And I think that being in open waters that I cannot see underneath is probably my biggest fear. Of course, you say when you think about sharks and being in maybe shark-infested waters. So all I do is I'm infatuated with sharks. I'm infatuated about learning about sharks, about why they would bite certain people, about where they swim, about
so you
what
preparing
times
yourself
are more than likely. Yeah, so that's the thing, that I think that's my biggest fear, being in open water, and you sitting there doggy paddling, and then something brush up against your dad. I hate even talking about it. But
I know you've seen those pictures from overhead from the drone where people just enjoying themselves in the ocean. It just schools of sharks just surrounding them.
100%. So there you go, man. That's probably my biggest fear. Man.
And I got a bone to pick with you and Kevin Hart. Supposedly my friends, but I've never been invited to one of these family vacation getaways.
You got to blame Kevin for that. Blame Kevin for that. He specifically said, Nick Cannon can never come on vacation with us. And then I was like, why? And he would never explain the reason why. He just told me that you could never do it. I don't know what you did to him.
Yeah, see, you know what? We'll take that up with him. We going to keep this going. Ludacris's favorite movie of all time.
Coming to America. That's an easy one.
I thought you were going to say one of the Fast and Furious.
No. I feel okay saying that Coming to America is my favorite movie. So much so that I love Eddie Murphy, and I love anybody that could potentially be in part two, but I love one so much.
Right.
That I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie to you, Nick.
I see where you're going.
I wasn't for it, bro.
I was right there. That's how much I love Coming to America. So I feel like it's one of the greatest films ever made. They ain't no Gone with the Wind too.
Exactly. Right.
But hey, I heard they did it justice, man. I heard it's gonna be hilarious. So I'll never bet against Eddie Murphy. So man, we hoping that's gonna be a good one. Next question: best piece of advice Ludacris has ever received.
Best piece of advice I've ever received is don't feel resentment or regret about anything. Everything happens for a reason. Again, another cliche saying, but really think about that. If you live your life and you don't carry all this baggage, and you realize that you are who you are today because of your struggles, because of your mistakes, and because of things that you went through, and you move forward amicably from that point on and not make the same mistakes over and over again, then that is words to live by. Everything happens for a reason.
Wow. Worst piece of advice Ludacris has ever received.
Man, probably to respond to negativity and ignorance.
Mm.
There's no reason to do that. Some things just don't warrant a response, especially when you're trying to keep, a light moving in a certain pace and staying on a certain level. So I would say that's probably the worst piece of advice, that you have to stoop to somebody else's level just because they're unhappy with themselves, man. There's no reason to do that. I don't have the time nor the energy. I got other positive things to say on.
See, that's very evolved and wise of you, Luda. I thought you was going to say putting the midget on your necklace. That was
Oh, no, it's funny you say that, because during that video, I had a dude come up to me that was a little person and specifically told me it's not nice to call us midgets. You know what I mean? And from now on, the term is little person.
Yep.
So I kind of cringe every time that I'm on stage and that damn song comes on, because I want to be respectful of all the little people. So shout out to all the little people. And that's ignorance right there. I was ignorant. Ignorant meaning I had no idea that that's what you were supposed to do. And I didn't know that.
And you had a little person swinging from your necklace.
Yeah.
It's still iconic. You
Controversy.
You are definitely known for it. And speaking of, I gotta ask Ludacris's top 5. We gotta go there.
My top 5, man. My top 5 definitely. Are we including myself? Because
I love it. I love it. Go ahead and put yourself in there.
I would put myself in there for the reason that when people ask me what I want to be known for, is like one of the most versatile MCs. So we all rank MCs on different levels, and it's all subjective. But throw me in there, of course.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cliche. So let me give you my reasons of why somebody like Tupac is in my top 5. I feel like Tupac, his music and his words and how he meant every word and was true to every word and how he affected people emotionally through his words, he has to be in the top 5 of how he impacted people that's going to last generations and generations to come, which is another reason why I would say that for Notorious B.I.G. He was only here for 2 albums, but his impact was so like out of this world.
Facts.
That he impacted so many individuals that came after him. I'm going to have to put Jay-Z in there, living legend. I don't care. In my opinion, even if rappers don't want to put his name in there, there's no rapper that doesn't look up to Jay-Z in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So you got to give that man his flowers while he's still here.
Indeed.
100%.
All right, one more. You just got one more.
I know, man, and now it's not even difficult. I'm going to throw Nas in there from being not only a storyteller, but how he rhymes and the subjects that he talks about. You talking about a guy that's still relevant till this day. Damn, this is hard because I want to put Scarface in there.
I'm about to say, you didn't put Face in there.
I want to put Scarface. I want to put Andre 3000.
Ooh.
So Andre 3000, because I gotta throw the South in there. There's no way besides myself I got to do that. But let's just say Nas, Scarface, honorable mentions. The reason I love 3000 so much is because he goes against the grain every single time. He's a rapper's rapper. Again, it's like every rapper you can't do nothing but respect 3000. And he's very different. He's very methodic. And everything he's done is memorable. And anybody that can stop music and people are still awaiting an album coming from this man after 10 years and he ain't really said much of anything or did much of anything, lets you know the type of lasting power and impact that 3000 will have. So I'm sorry, y'all. That's top 8. I know I got 2 other ones.
Hey, that was a strong one. And you take me to this next one. I have to ask you this, man. Ludacris's greatest bar. What's the best bar you ever spit? You a wordsmith. You known for the punchlines. What is Ludacris's greatest bar?
Bro, I humbly speaking probably have so many of them, but the first one that comes to my mind just randomly is I make niggas eat dirt and fart dust and give you an $80 gift certificate to Pussies R Us. I love that bar. First of all, there's no such thing as Pussies R Us. And if there were, who the hell would give them an arbitrary, random-ass $80 gift certificate to the place? That lets you into the mind of Ludacris, which is fucking ridiculous. What the hell is that? Nobody else would do some shit like that, man.
Indeed, that is truly Ludacris. And I got to ask you this. Ludacris's favorite cuss word?
Oh man, man, all of them. But if I had to choose one, probably bitch. Probably move, bitch, get out the way.
Move, bitch.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Yo, the streams are bankhead bouncing after this verses, by the way. I just want to let you know all of my catalog and Nelly's catalog. Make sure y'all go down the triple memory lane and listen to all of the music, because right now people are just, they jumping off the damn charts, man. 100%.
Man, congratulations to you on that. And I definitely have to end the firing squad this way. We talked about it earlier. Legacy. Truly have turned yourself into an icon. It's undisputed. When the journey is all said and done, what's the one word that will describe Ludacris?
Pun intended?
Yeah.
Ludacris.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a Ludacris conversation with the one and only legendary Ludacris right here on Nick Cannon Radio.